FM and AM 1160, 811 on your Tuesday morning. Theresa, help me with this name again. It is Diabetes Alert Awareness Day. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's Diabetes Alert Day. You're exactly right. So what that means is this started back in 1986 with the American Diabetes Association. They wanted to get the people to, the population or the people to focus on the seriousness of diabetes. Because we know there's a lot of people walking around that have diabetes and they don't know they have diabetes. Then when there's a lot of people walking around that have pre-diabetes and don't have a clue.
Yeah.
Because diabetes is known as a silent killer. There's hardly any symptoms. There's really no symptoms till you get to the end when it gets serious and it really starts to come out.
Yeah.
So they wanted to get people aware of the risks that are involved to kind of cue you in and get you to talk to your doctor about testing your blood sugars for either pre-diabetes or diabetes.
Yeah, my recorder didn't kick in, so I should properly introduce this segment. We're talking today with Theresa Kinneer, diabetes educator from IRMC, and Trinity Russell, who's a public health intern at IRMC. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to have you both with us here today. Conversation brought to you by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. So, Theresa, you said people are walking around with diabetes, don't even know they have it.
They don't even know it because, like I said, there's not symptoms. You feel fine, you walk around, and you don't realize that your blood sugars are high until you go to your doctor for your annual checkup and you see that your fasting blood sugars are elevated. Could be somewhere between that 100 to 125 range. But you really don't start having symptoms till your blood sugars get higher, like above 250, 300. That's when you get increased thirst, the weight loss, and all those things that we know.
So there are going to be people out there saying, well, if I'm walking around with it and I don't even know I have it, I'm going to wait until I actually experience something before I get it checked out. Not the right approach.
Not the right approach. And that's why the American Diabetes Association put out this risk test. It's, if you Google Diabetes Alert Day online, this test will come up. And it's just a 7-question test. It's a yes/no type thing. And every time you answer a question, you get a point or you don't get a point. If you end up with 5 points or more, you have diabetes or you should get checked for diabetes. If it's 5 or if it's below 5, you could be in that pre-diabetes risk. So they want you to talk to your doctor about, some concerns that you might have with that and pull some blood work for you.
Trinity Russell is with us. She's a public health intern at IRMC. From IUP, I assume?
Yes.
All right. So tell me about, from your aspect, you're a younger person.
Yes.
And here we're talking about diabetes, and people might think, oh, diabetes, that's for when you get older. It's not, is it?
No, it's not. It's actually very common for younger people to have type 2 diabetes, and a lot of the time they won't find this out until they are in the hospital and they're like, what's going on? And it turns out that their blood sugars are very high. So it is more common than you would think, and it is a risk for people if you have a family history. So you definitely want to make sure that you keep that in mind if you have a family history of diabetes.
Theresa, let's talk about and define diabetes a little bit, because there's more than one type.
Yeah, there are various types of diabetes. There is type 1 diabetes, which we see in the younger population, and that's when your pancreas doesn't work at all. So that's when you need insulin. So completely different than the type 2 that we're talking about today for Diabetes Alert Day. Type 2, your pancreas still works, but it needs a little oomph to get the insulin to where it needs to get to manage your blood sugars. So we do this with either medication or lifestyle changes like eating better, healthier foods, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, watch your portions, those type of things. Get the exercise in every day. 30 minutes of exercise every day is going to help the blood sugars, those type of things. And then there's gestational diabetes, which happens to women when they're pregnant. Their blood sugars go up related to whether it could be weight, hormones, different things like that.
And there used to be the term juvenile diabetes.
Yes.
But that's not what they're calling.
No, they're calling
it
it type 1 now.
Yeah,
you're exactly right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about measures for prevention and then measures for treating if you have it.
Measures for prevention is to get at a good weight. Get online and see what your weight should be for your height and your age and different things like that. And even if you're a little bit overweight right now, if you lose 5 to 7% of your weight, it makes a big difference when it comes to blood sugars. Eat a healthy diet. Get those at least 2 or more vegetable servings in a day, at least 2 fruit servings in a day. Make it fresh. Lean proteins, the whole grains, those type of things. Trying to think what else. And the exercise piece, right?
Yeah, I would say make sure you get in 30 minutes of exercise a day, and also once a year go to your primary care doctor, get your checkup, because this could they could see signs of this possibly. So it could be prevented maybe in that way.
They know what to look for.
Yes.
Number one. And when you say exercise 30 days, what did you say, 30 days a week or a day?
30 minutes a day.
30 minutes at 30 days a week. Listen to me. Yeah, go ahead, do 30 days a week. 30 minutes a day. If you can do 30 minutes a day beyond what you're doing now, so if you're doing absolutely nothing, 30 minutes of exercise just might be walking for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Once you get past that and you've got that as your level of activity, maybe in a week or two, you increase that by increasing pace, increasing distance, those various types of things, correct?
Yes, that is correct. It's actually a common thing that people think, oh, you have to be sweating, you have to be running to be exercising. But just 30 minutes of walking a day is better than not doing any kind of exercise.
Yeah.
So we do recommend walking for like 30 minutes a day.
More than what you're doing now.
Exactly. Yeah, because we're all pretty busy now. I mean, there's housework, there's different things, which helps, you know what I mean? But you want to do more than what you're doing now to make that difference.
Okay, so you talked, Theresa, about ways that we treat diabetes once we have it, beyond prevention. And as you put it, the pancreas needs some help sometimes.
Yes. So that could be through medication. There's a lot of oral medications out there that the doctors will take a look at to see what's best for you. Of course, there's always insulin and some new injectables out there now that only need to be taken once a week. Those are a help to people. If you have type 1 diabetes, now we have the insulin pump, and we have those devices that monitor your blood sugars. They're called continuous glucose monitors. It's the Dexcom and the Libre that you can check your blood sugars every 5 seconds if you wanted to.
Just hold your phone up to it.
Yeah, and it's a great source of information.
Yeah. Okay, so it's to that portion of this segment where we need to scare some people, because some people they're not going to respond to any of it. So let's scare them. Let's talk a little bit about what the long-term ramifications of ignoring or mistreating your diabetes could be, because the healthcare ramifications, they're pretty dire, aren't they?
Yes, that is why they say that diabetes is a silent killer. There are a lot of things that can happen, including like you could start losing toes, or it's even happened that you could lose a whole leg because you either didn't know that you had diabetes or didn't manage it correctly.
And of course, it can go all the way up to causing problems with other major organs that could lead to death.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there could be heart problems because, diabetes and heart disease go hand in hand, the cholesterol piece. So we see a lot of the heart problems, the clogged veins and different things where the cholesterol gets higher. We see some vision loss with diabetes too. I mean, the blood vessels behind your eyes start to weaken and they break a little bit, so you lose some of the sight in your eyes. So that could be a piece of it too. So it's a very, it can be a very devastating disease if you don't get a hold of it and manage it.
All right, so we're going to officially close the door on scaring people now.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about the positives here, the positives of this particular day, of people deciding that this is the day, from this day forward, I'm going to do better with this. I'm going to help myself and improve my health. It does make you feel better, doesn't it?
It does. And if you had to say there's one good thing about diabetes, it's manageable. You can get to a point that you manage it with diet and exercise and some medications. It's something you can manage. So there's a lot of things that we struggle with as far as diseases that not really manageable, out of our control. But at least with diabetes, you have some control or some manageability through diet and exercise and medications that you can really get a hold of it.
Yeah. All right. So this is the day when folks pay special attention to diabetes, the possibility that they could be walking around with it and not even know it. or the possibility that, okay, I know it or I suspected it, and I just haven't done anything about it.
Yeah.
Today's the day to start getting things
Today's
done
the
about
day.
it.
Yes.
All right. So, ladies, we want to thank you so much for coming in to visit with us. What are some of the resources people can use? I know IRMC has a tremendous concern for diabetes, and so they make resources available to folks.
They do. We have a diabetes center at the hospital where we see people individually. We're also starting back with classes. We started those back, so we'll be doing some group classes again for people. And those are really nice because you have a group and they get together and you get advice from other people and you kind of understand what you're going through, other people have went through too. So it's a nice atmosphere to learn some new things. We're hoping to get support groups and different things back into play as we're able to move forward, past COVID a little bit. But yeah, we can help you with any questions or concerns you might have.
Very good. All right, Trinity Russell, you're a public health intern. That means you're a senior, yes?
Yes, I am.
What's the big plan for you?
So I am going to be graduating on May 7th, and I'm looking and pursuing a career in community health work. So these preventative measures that we're speaking to you about are actually things that I will be focusing on once I graduate. It's all about to prevent illnesses or even just manage them. You need to know that you have them in the first place. So you need to be going and getting your preventative screenings done and go to the doctor once a year to get checkups.
Back home in the Poconos, are you going to hang around here or be a free agent and go wherever you want?
I'm thinking the Indiana or Pittsburgh area.
There you go. There you go. Might as well keep you here.
Yeah, let's keep her. I like her.
Yeah. Theresa Kinneer, Trinity Russell, thanks so much for coming to visit with us. We appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
Happy Diabetes Alert Day.
There you go.
It's the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160. Approaching 24 minutes after 8 o'clock, and it is Indiana in the Morning. Coming up in our next half hour, we'll do our health cycle, our normal health cycle. And then I think we've got a 9:10 guest. Let me check the book here. I have to move one book to get to the other one. Let me see. This is the 22nd. No, 9:45. Jack is back with us. Jack Benedict from Evansville, Indiana.